A lot of folks out there asking, where'd rock go? Where's the rock? Where's the great rock and roll? Well, if you've been tuning into the podcast on a regular basis, we have been talking about that. But one of the places you could, investigate might be checking out some of the modern blues artists. When it comes to today's blues artists, many blur the lines between blues and rock so much that had they had careers in maybe the 70s, 80s, or 90s, they would absolutely be considered rock artists and not blues artists. So in this week's Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, we will introduce you to 10 blues artists who are actually rockers in disguise. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Welcome back, moms and dads, boys and girls, and children of all ages to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Lily, you know what I realized today?
What?
I realized that I'm this old. I'm old enough to have used the word gay to mean happy and not be ironic about it.
Yeah?
That's how old I am.
Oh,
Wow.
that's pretty
Now,
old.
gay didn't always mean gay.
No.
It used to mean happy.
And happy.
It was just the word for happy.
Yeah.
There's even like some Christmas carols.
Sure.
that-
Dawn we know.
Our gay apparel.
gay
Yeah.
apparel.
Well, that's a whole new meaning
Yeah,
in today's world, I
I
guess.
guess so.
But
Wow.
that's all, I just
That's-
it
you're
was like I was like
old.
one of those,
You
aha
ancient.
moments. So anyways, guys, welcome to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. Find us at LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com, where you can become part of our inner circle amongst many other cool things, like find our entire YouTube archive. That's important because we are shadow banned on YouTube because we just say whatever. So, we're hard to, we won't automatically just come up in people's searches, even though we pick awesome topics. So go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com and check all the happy stuff out. Let's talk about Wolf's Customs. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Not only am I wearing the t-shirt, I have the card. Wolf's Customs. Go to wolfscustoms.online or find them on social media. This is where you go to get custom paint jobs and artwork done on your musical instrument. Yeah, it's just a very cool way to stand out. You guys know who Glenn Vicker is? You know who Glenn Vicker is?
Glenn Vickers.
Yeah, you know who he is? He's Sonic. Can't remember. He's a audio engineer. And he has
Okay.
a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And he's usually very like, rah! He does a lot of yelling.
He's quite
He's
loud.
got real long,
Yes.
long hair,
Unlike us.
And he's been on this rant for like months about guitar players, buying guitars that he thinks are stupid. Okay? And a guitar is like so personal. And as a guitarist, you're not just looking for something that really plays well and sounds well. You want it. It's like part of your personality. You have to kind of vibe with it.
Yes.
And if you feel for some reason that because Jimmy Page played one, that it's going to kind of help give you that feeling and make you feel like more inspired or whatever. And then you got the cash, then buy yourself, 59 reissue. That's what that's there for. It's an emotional decision, and music is all about emotion. And having a guitar that you're playing that feels custom to you, or it feels like it really expresses your personality. Part of that is the finish, right, Kevin? Kevin's a guitarist.
Correct as usual, King
Where
Friday.
we look at finishes on guitars. Oh, that's really cool. I love that finish. Yeah, this looks really cool. Whatever. So that is why you might want to talk to Chris Thunderwolf Dodson at wolfscustoms.online. To maybe you got a cool guitar, but maybe you want to customize it enough to make it have your own
Yeah.
You know, your own
Make
thing,
it
your own thing,
yours.
make it yours, make it your
Exactly.
thing. I'm thinking about the guitar that Eric Clapton was playing in Cream. It's called a Les Paul, but it was actually an SG. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he had
Oh, and he
painted
painted it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that's that kind of thing. And I think Jimmy Page did a Telecaster like that too. But like that's just something cool to do. So something to think about. You know, instead of maybe you love the guitar you have, but you want to personalize it a little bit. And they do beautiful stuff. I mean, really, really stuff. You want to check it out. Also, I want to mention rockrageradio.com. Go there, download what kind of app is it again, Lily?
Free.
Yes,
No
it is a free
way.
app. Yes, it is.
Wow.
It's 100,000% free. And yeah, so
Did you just shoot your shot?
I just shot my wad.
Wow.
Because I love Rock Rage Radio. Rock Rage Radio is a 24-hour internet radio, totally free, where you can listen to great music programming 24/7. It's awesome. It's just freaking amazing. If you're into music, it's definitely something you want to check out. They cover a lot of sounds, and a lot of different styles.
Something
classic.
for everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and they really mix it up, just like rock stations used to do.
Way back.
Yeah. So it's very, very cool. rockrageradio.com. Download that app. I am really excited about these folks that work with us, man, because it's just a very cool thing. It's the brotherhood of music, and it's just freaking awesome. Speaking of the brotherhood of music, she does not have a penis.
What?
So does that make you a non-penised person?
I guess. You're sick.
For you non-penised people.
Yeah,
It was a one-eyed, one-horn flying non-penis.
This is why I apologized in advance, everybody.
He did apologize.
This is why I apologized in advance, because
Well,
I knew it was
anyway,
going to happen.
So we have Lily V6.
Yeah.
What's up, all? I went to Rage Against the Machine on Friday.
Wow. Rage Against Machines.
I was in one of the cushy corporate suites, though.
Ooh.
You weren't in the pit?
I was not in the pit for that.
Getting flounced around.
No.
Bounced around, everybody.
But I'll tell you what, I like the free food, drink, and cushy seats you get in the
Cushy.
corporate suites. So yeah, I do recommend that.
Because
if that's a possibility.
that's just completely against everything that Rage Against the Machines does.
I know, right?
I know.
They're like
It really
they're
is.
like the bourgeois. Well, no, the proletariat needs to rise up and overthrow the bourgeois. I mean, it's a total commie thing. If you ever listen to
kinda
their lyrics, they're
felt
total
like-
communists. And
I enjoyed going against them, but that's okay.
Waiter, can I get another Cosmopolitan?
And it's just hilarious that there people go to a Rage Against the Machine and sit in cushy box seats.
Oh,
Or any
yeah.
more cocktail
I was very
weenies?
bougie. I loved it.
Bougie.
Nice.
We had
Bougie,
firecracker
bougie.
shrimp,
What?
not cocktail weenies.
Firecracker shrimp.
Yes.
Wow.
Does it pop in your mouth?
No, it's
I-
just really
ooh.
spicy.
Okay,
In your
I'm
mouth.
not gonna get it. I'm not gonna
It's spicy in your mouth, Lou.
Oh boy.
Speaking of spicy in the mouth, we have the man, the legend himself. We have Pittsburgh Kevin.
Hey, everybody.
So what's going on, buddy?
So, we were talking about guitars and stuff like that. I'm very excited. Tomorrow I have a day off, and you know what I'm doing?
Masturbating furiously.
With a guitar.
Okay, like after that, with the guitar. Lily, have you been listening through the floor again?
Maybe.
Oh, yikes.
Sometimes can't help myself.
On the ceiling, if you want me.
Hey, that happened once.
We've already done that. Anyway, so no, but one of my Framptonstein, my Les Paul, little scratchy, and my Fender Frontman, little scratchy. So I got off my butt and went out and got contact cleaner. So tomorrow, everything is getting sprayed down, so it'll be fully functional, Lou. That's how exciting my life is.
So you'll be a
folks.
fully functioning alcoholic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
okay.
pretty
Is
much.
everything
Yeah,
done?
I
would
just
think
want to
so,
make
yeah.
sure. I just want to make sure we're
Yeah.
we're all on the same page with that.
Just make sure.
Just making sure,
Oh,
guys.
boy.
Just
Yeah.
making sure. So, okay. And is there any other comings and goings that we need to
Oh,
document?
there's lots of comings. Later on, there'll be some goings.
Rest in peace. Shell Nichols,
Yeah.
Star Trek, Lieutenant Uhura, famously was going to quit the show. And the man, the legend himself, the man, a guy we could use right now, Martin Luther King
Yeah.
Jr. told her not to do it.
Awesome.
Don't quit. Stay on the show. It's really, and
Yeah.
a lot, over the years, she went on to really inspire a lot of African-American folk. And so many people have talked about that. I mean, anytime she was on anything, there was always this, people were like, oh my God, you inspired me so much, you
Yeah.
know. And primetime television, had a position of authority, on the in the crew and everything. She wasn't just, she wasn't a yeoman. She was somebody who was like in charge of like what was being said in like sometimes in times of fucked up shit going down.
Yeah.
So and the first interracial kiss.
Ooh, sexy.
Yep.
Too bad
I
it was
did know
with,
that.
Too bad it was with Bill Shatner. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I'll tell you what, man. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I thought that was like one of the sexiest things. I was just starting to that age where I was just kind of starting to think, and I saw it. It like made me feel
Starting
funny.
to think.
It made you feel funny.
Made me feel funny, like
Deep down inside.
Yeah, deep down inside,
yes,
down in the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, 89. Yes, that's what she was. 89 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good run. Thank you, Nichelle. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. Yeah, awesome person, and of course, what can you say? Star Trek. So that's about it. We're gonna get into.
Lily's not saying. Star
We're gonna
Trek.
get into
Yes.
what the Beatles did later on.
Okay.
So
And just so you know, there's a lot. I already looked.
Oh my God.
all Beatles all the time.
Always.
But
doing something.
last Tuesday there was nothing about the Beatles at all.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man.
Not one thing.
They just must
They
know
could've
because
just
we're
made up
on
stuff.
Mondays. They load up on Beatles
Yeah.
stuff. What's funny is when like this, like it says, this day in 1968, the Beatles, and then it's like blah 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 blah, all these other bands, blah, 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 and the Beatles were there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah.
like-
The Beatles. They never stayed home. Always checking shit
Those
out.
are like they got you. It was like
Yeah.
clickbait. There's a good name for a band. There has to be a band called Clickbait.
I'm sure
so,
there is.
today's topic is the blues and
Yes.
rock. Rockin' blues. So, right.
Right.
Blues had a baby,
Aw.
and you know the words? The blues had a baby, and they named it rock and roll.
That was
Aw.
nice.
Muddy Waters.
Thank you.
And this was a style of music that sort of came out of like early slave call and response type things. And what was interesting about it was the rhythm that they used and the notes that they sang. They actually started singing notes that weren't in the scale. Okay, and I don't want to get too super technical about it, but that's what they were doing. They were bringing in what they call blue notes. And this was
Blue Note.
really revolutionary, but it felt really good. Like when you hear it done, you hear that kind of singing, you hear that kind of
Right.
playing, you can, like, it feels really good. So the sort of like blues, like kind of an oxymoron. Blues, it's called the blues, but it makes you
But
feel
it makes you feel good. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so we're going to be talking about what makes blues, etc., as well as because we want to compare what the blues really is to what these guys that we're going to be talking about are doing. So of course, the blues is a direct influence. It's the thing that rock comes that gives birth to rock and roll. Rock and roll is kind of what, like a mixture of country and blues together. That's what they always say, like white and black music. You know what I mean? Whereas they would take the blues song forms, but instead of playing them with swing time or triplet feel, they would make it like more like a 4 on the floor, like boom, 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 instead ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. So blues would be like da 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 da, and rock would be boom, tsh, boom, tsh, boom, boom, tsh. Get the idea? So
I really like that example.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of that's where the sort of the they diverge.
But I digress.
So you have to so that is and then there's a lot of argument like that exactly what is blues, and a lot of these folks that we're going to be talking about, if you were to get them alone, as I have heard some of them come out of some of their own mouths, that if you were to get them alone, they'd be like, well we really are rock. But if we say we're rock, then like because our bread and butter is the blues. Like the blues people are like supporting us. We come out and say that we're rock. We're not going to sell any albums. We're not going to get invited to the big festivals,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
So I think that's what happened with like Kenny Wayne Shepherd and people like that. They had to kind of stay in that enough. But I've been to the Blues Challenge shows in Pittsburgh a number of times and talked to different members of the Pittsburgh Blues Association. We are based out of Pittsburgh, in case you're wondering why I'm talking about that. And there is a kind of attitude, in my opinion, that that band, they're like, that's not real blues. You'd hear a band, they'd be great. And people go, that's not real blues.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm like, okay.
Nice try.
And they do try to pick the person who is the most, like, quote unquote, authentic or as old timey as possible. Granted, most of the artists aren't really sounding old timey, but they try to get somebody as close to that type of thing as possible to make themselves feel good about themselves. Because I think when you get people that don't play music, they don't really know what else to judge stuff on.
Yeah.
They have to pick the lowest common denominator, something very simple. It sounds like BB King. It's got to be good. That's it. That's it. It just sounds like BB King. It's great.
Oh boy.
So, blues, rock, and then so what I wanted to kind of bring up real quick is Lily.
Yes.
What do you think? I think that like Led Zeppelin, Cream, and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, like if they came out today, I think they would be considered blues bands.
I don't think Led Zeppelin would, but the other two, yeah.
I think Led Zeppelin would.
I don't
I think
agree with that.
I think
Maybe some of the songs.
I think Led Zeppelin would, and I think their catalog would look a little different.
Yeah.
They may. Stairway to Heaven may have been a little different.
Maybe.
Not been. But what about you, Kevin? Can you think about it? Like any guys that like had they come out today would absolutely be just automatically your blues.
I don't know, because like for me growing up, it was such a like the lines were very blurred because most of the bands I listened to were influenced by the blues. I mean, you could technically say like if like today the Stones, their early Stone stuff is very bluesy. They were very much influenced.
Yeah, they may have just been considered, this is a blues band.
Yeah, exactly.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Aerosmith
was another one.
I think you could make an argument that a lot of those bands would have been.
They're bluesy.
Yeah,
they're blues.
we now call it, and it's funny. Rock became so many different things, right? The '70s gave birth to the '80s, and the '80s rock completely changes all over again. And there's less reliance directly on the blues in a lot of places. And blues has a big, comeback with Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry's coming out there, doing then a couple years later you got the Johnny Langs and the Kenny Wayne Shepherds, and like it just keeps going. Every decade there's this like blues guy,
resurgence.
There's this sort of thing that's
Bring
always
the blues back.
But it's really a separate thing because in the beginning the rock bands that were really big, that were really like conquering the world, were Cream, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix Experience, the Jeff Beck Group, bands like that would today, like you could put on a Beckola, and I mean it would definitely would sound like right along line with what a lot of today's blues artists are doing. It's just interesting how the styles have so diverse. We talked about this about metal, right, Lily? About all the different like subgenres.
Yes,
of
that
metal.
was quite a podcast.
And we had like a ton of them. It wasn't even exhaustive. Like we were exhausted after.
There's too many.
Yeah,
in metal.
too many.
There's way too many.
So I'm not so sure that is good. We alluded to this earlier that there was a time when rock stations would play, Led Zeppelin and Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty and Devo. You know what I mean? You heard all those. You could hear all those on the same Rush. You could hear all those on the same station. Maybe even playing it one after each other. It was like, and you just were like, and so it brought in a lot of different sounds to you. And so I think that's why. one of the reasons why we are where we are with this, like, well, people are like, well, it's blues rock now. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, it's blues though. It's still in that. So it's like saying, it's like saying death metal, blues rock. You see what I'm saying? So, anyways, I have a question.
Oh boy.
Though.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna ask you guys:
Okay.
is Pat Travers blues or rock?
I can't answer.
Wow.
That.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can answer. What about Robin Trower? Is Robin Trower a blues artist or a rock artist?
Well, see, these are guys that I was like kind of looking into, and I'm like, is it really rock? Like some of my picks, you can definitely tell they're rock, but they're blues, but they're rock. But these guys, yeah.
So and like Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, like that's another guy who's is he a blues guy? Is he a
What is he?
Yeah.
What could he be?
John Sykes
psych.
is another guy you could put on here. Is he a blues guy? Is he a rock player? So just stuff to do. And then I want to quickly touch on the curious cases of Johnny Winter and Stevie Ray Vaughan, who were. Johnny did rock albums and he played fucking stadiums. I mean, that was a time when that kind of music was like the mainstream music.
Oh boy!
Big guitars, solos, whole album side. The long version of Freebird. Remember all that shit? People ate that shit up. And so Johnny Winter, in the 70s, like just freaking. He was a huge artist, but he was really a blues guy at heart. And he went later in his life. He talked about that period in his life, and he didn't like it. He really wanted to go back to be a smaller kind of artist, just playing blues. He didn't like all that. I mean, it ended up getting him into. He got into trouble. That's where he got into drugs and everything. Yeah. And then there's Stevie Ray Vaughan, who's like. In some ways sounds like really like an uncompromising blues guy to me, right? To me.
Yeah.
But one of his biggest songs is Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, which is not a blues song.
Right.
And Little Wing. He is a version of Little Wing.
Yeah. Indeed.
So so that's some of his biggest stuff, and it's
curious.
And it's not really, blues per se, unless you're going to say that Jimi Hendrix wasn't a rock musician. He was a blues musician. Just about. So, and I have to say one more thing. Here we go. Pittsburgh's. So there's this cool. Last FM has a. I have it in the show notes. A whole just giant list of bluesy rock bands, and the one band was called Fresh Blueberry Pancake, and they're from Pittsburgh. And they had they existed for 3 years. They I don't know how they got this list, but they put these guys on it, and they never released an album. There's just some demos floating around, and people said they're good. But they were just a Pittsburgh band. And I tried to look at the names of the guys, but they didn't. None of them were guys that I remember. There was it wasn't it was no Norm Nardini or Joey Granati or any of those kind of guys.
The usuals.
Yeah. So just kind of like a sort of like
mafia.
Oh, by the way, kind of thing. So we're going to get into our list.
Here we go.
And away we go.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, ladies first.
I don't know why I'm going first then, guys. So Samantha Fish is the first on my list. I'm not a huge fan of her name. I guess it's catchy, though. There it is. American singer-songwriter and guitarist from Kansas City. Often cited as a blues artist, her albums and live shows feature multiple genres, including rock, country, funk, bluegrass, and ballads. She grew up in Kansas City and started out playing the drums, but when she was 15, she switched to guitar. She's definitely a fan favorite in our area of the world, which is Pittsburgh. Everybody goes to her shows, always a sold-out show. She initially heard recordings of Bonnie Raitt and Stevie Ray Vaughan. She later heard music from Tom Petty and the Rolling Stones and cited the Stones' album Sticky Fingers as her influential moment music. Her third studio album, Wild Heart, was released on July 10th, 2015, and that new album is more roots rock than her blues originals, so it's pretty cool. To me, she sounds more rock with blues inspiration.
Right, I agree. She's on my list as well. And some of her go to YouTube and find her version of War Pigs.
Yes,
oh, wow.
I've heard it.
Okay,
it's devastating. It's heavy as fuck. And she sings it with that great soulful voice, and she has a kind of she kind of has a Marilyn Monroe kind of thing
Very
going
look
on
on
with
her
her
hair.
look. So it's really kind of crazy to watch. It's like Marilyn Monroe, sings like this gutsy blues rock and rips up the guitar. It's like, wow.
Yes.
Live long enough, you see some fucked up shit.
It's for sure.
But no, she's great. She's fucking great. What do you got? Pittsburgh, Kevin.
Well, Lily started with the ladies, and Lou. Hey, Lou.
Hey, Lo. Hey, Lo.
Hey, Lynn. Hey, yins know me, right? Bones.
Bones is late.
He's a little bit late.
He
Hey,
must
Lou.
have been taking a nap like
Yins know me, right? I love the ladies too. I love them too. My first pick is somebody you, me, and Lily are quite familiar with,
Oh, I know who you're gonna say.
and that would be the lovely and talented. And let me close the door because Stu's going to come running down here any minute. You know who I'm talking about. Anna Popovic.
Yes.
On a pop my dick.
Yes. Very much considered a blues artist, but we've seen her live, and she kicks ass. So Anna is actually from Serbia. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes.
I knew that too.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we might have. Born May 13th, 1976. She's a youngster. Hello. She was a youngster. She lives here in the United States now, currently touring around. She tours the world and beyond. Blah blah blah. She started playing when she was 15 years old. And like I said, very much considered a blues artist, but if you listen to her stuff and just watch her intensity, it's very much rock and roll.
And I'm very jealous of all her clothes.
Yeah. She's very
It's
easy
very
on the
fashionable.
Yes.
eyes. Very easy on the eyes.
She just need to switch to Les Paul. That's all. I'm just saying.
Strat player all the way around. I
Yeah,
mean,
she is. Yeah, she is, and I still love her.
I want to talk about Tyler Dow Bryant, born February 24th, 1991, American guitarist from Paris, Texas. He's best known as the lead guitarist and vocalist of the rock band Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. Tyler got his first guitar at the age of 6. When he was 11, he sold the dirt bike his parents gave to him for Christmas and bought his first electric guitar, a red Epiphone Les Paul from Holly Bond's music store in Paris, Texas.
Wow.
While still in elementary school, he met Roosevelt Twitty, a blues musician who became Bryant's guitar teacher and mentor. And at 13, Bryant and Twitty started playing shows around Texas. This was the age that Tyler also started writing songs. So, this is the story we've heard before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Young guy, befriends a blues musician, and it's a kind of kind of a rock and roll story, right?
Yeah.
Crossroads, all that shit. At 15, Tyler put together his first band, which performed local shows in and around his hometown. In 2006, he was presented with the Robert Johnson Gibson New Generation Award for Aspiring Young Players. In 2007, Tyler won Ernie Ball's first Play Crossroads competition, which got him a spot performing at the Crossroads Guitar Festival in Chicago.
That's cool.
That's a big deal. We're going to be talking about that. We have a show coming up on the biggest rock festivals of all time. It's the week I don't think you're going to be here. But we're going to talk about the Crossroads Guitar Festival. It's kind of the shit.
I got shit to do.
Shit.
As he continued, he began to take influence from blues-based rock acts such as the Black Crowes, Rolling Stones, Leonard Skinner, Tom Petty, and the Heartbreakers. Tyler moved to Nashville at age 17 to pursue a career in songwriting. And in the process, he met drummer Caleb Crosby and bass player Calvin Webster. Caleb and Calvin.
I like it.
I like it. Caleb and Calvin joined Tyler's band named Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, which now also includes bass guitarist Ryan Fitzgerald and guitarist Graham Whitford,
I didn't
later
know
being
that.
the son of Brad.
I didn't know
Brad
his son
Whitford.
was in that band. That's awesome.
Wow.
And Bryant married Rebecca Lavelle from Larkin Poe.
Oh, okay.
Just recently, back in 2019.
Aw.
So,
That's
Kevin and I
Yeah,
saw
I was just
them,
going to say we saw him. Wow.
and they were good. They were great. I talked to him afterwards. He was very cordial and very low key, and
Super young. Holy crap.
Maybe my memory's fading, but weren't his parents at the show that we were at? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm making shit
Well,
up.
Highway 4, right? What they were called?
Yeah, Highway 4. They were opening for them.
Their parents were there.
Oh, well, there was.
Their parents had to be there.
There were some adult beverages flowing that
You
night.
don't say.
And also, Lily walked by the door.
Oh, that's that night? I was going to a burlesque show that night.
Oh, that's right. It was across the street because
Yes.
the girls came over.
We came over to give you flyers.
Yes, that's funny.
Girls can't help it.
Wait, did you come across the street to hand out flyers?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's you?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I was so drunk.
I
didn't
didn't
lose.
like all these years. You were sexy. Well, you're still sexy.
Years ago.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Going down memory
That's
lane,
me.
everybody.
Like the corners of my mind.
God, I can't stand you guys.
Okay. All right. That's enough, guys.
Wow.
Oh, I like everybody fussing all over me.
Crazy.
Shit.
Crazy.
Okay. Who's next? Lily.
Larkin Poe, since you just
Hey, there you go.
Larkin Poe.
Larkin
Poe.
American roots rock band originally from North Georgia, currently based in Nashville, Tennessee, and fronted by sisters Rebecca Lovell and Lavelle and Megan Lavelle. Featuring strong Southern harmonies, heavy electric guitar riffs, and slide guitar, they are often touted as the little sisters of the Allman Brothers.
Oh.
The sisters have also toured as backing musicians for a variety of other bands: Elvis Costello, Christian Bush of Sugarland, and Keith Urban. That's pretty cool. Rebecca and Megan began their musical careers in 2005 as teenagers with the formation of a bluegrass Americana group, the Lavelle Sisters, with their older sister, Jessica Lavelle. After self-releasing 2 independent albums and touring successfully for years.
I
4
self-release all the time.
I know. They disbanded in 2009. In February 2017, Larkin Poe performed as part of a backing band at the Music Cares tribute to Tom Petty in Los Angeles, accompanying such artists as Jackson Browne and Don Henley.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
November 20th, 2020, they released their 5th studio album, Kindred Spirits, a covers album featuring renditions of songs by Lenny Kravitz, Neil Young, Elvis Presley, Phil Collins, Elton John, and others. And they're going to release their 6th album November 11th of this year called Blood Harmony.
Not again.
God. Ridiculous.
I can't work under these conditions.
I quit.
No. This is part of your community service.
Well,
What the hell did I do wrong?
So there you go. There's a good one. That's a good one, Lily. I
my
got
first
to hand
2.
it to you.
All the ladies.
Our girl Lily.
Yeah, sure.
So, Pittsburgh, Kevin.
So, like I said, I had a lot of fun doing research. Right, you are, sir. I had a lot of fun doing research for this because a lot of times I'd be like, is that really a blues artist, a rock artist? So I'd have to go and watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that. So this guy came up, Mr. Lonnie Mack. Everybody, Lonnie Mack.
I don't know if he likes it or doesn't when he does that.
I don't know.
I never know.
Well, you know what it is. He has that mouse.
He likes to play with his buttons.
He does like to play with stuff. That's right. So Lonnie McIntosh. Oh my God, I can't read tonight. Lonnie was born July 18th, 1941. Unfortunately, left the planet April 21st, 2016.
Oh.
Yeah, he was an American songwriter and guitarist. He is considered an influential trailblazer of blues rock music. So there you go. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. He emerged in 1963 with his breakthrough LP, The Wham of That Memphis Man.
I like it.
What do you think of that, Lou? The Wham of That Memphis Man.
Lonnie Mack.
Yes.
This is a great pick. I was actually thinking about Lonnie Mack
Yeah. Great minds.
as well. I did a couple of his songs in a band. But one of them was a song that he has called "Too Rock for Country," "Too Country
yes.
for Rock and
There
Roll."
you go.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I was thinking about Lonnie Mack and I was thinking about that song, I was thinking that maybe, and we'll have to see because this is a touchy subject, okay, with some people out there.
You're not going to touch me again, are you?
He touched me. So just like we were talking about blues artists who are actually rock artists in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the C word. Country artists who should just drop the fiddle and the banjo and the pedal steel and just play what they want to play, which is rock.
Right.
Legit.
That might be a possibility. I know that like some people are like really who like rock really hate country. They just think it's terrible. Exactly. So you have to. So I'm gonna float it. I don't know if it's something we'll do or not, but when we thought of this song by Lonnie Mack, it made me think of that.
Yes.
I want to talk about a guy who's relatively new on the scene for all the kids out there. Yes. This is a guy.
You all right?
No.
Sorry
What's wrong with you?
You.
This is a guy who used to get high.
Oh my!
I'm leaving.
Don't ask why.
Fucking musicals here.
That's like in The Princess Bride. Remember, he keeps rhyming
Yes.
everything.
Right.
And he thinks he's a poet, but he's Andre the fucking Giant. Like, what the fuck? Gary Lee Clark Jr. Gary Clark Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard this thing floating around. I found it on YouTube, and it's this song, "Bright Lights, Big City."
Mm-hmm.
And the album hadn't really come out or anything. And it was just kind of, I don't know if it was a demo, if it was on a television show or in a movie or something. And it was floating around. And this thing is so sick. This is one of the sickest fucking songs I've ever heard in my life. It's like 7 minutes. It's total magic. And for like the first 5 minutes, it's one chord. It doesn't change. It doesn't open up until the very, very end of the song. And his performance and his guitar tone and everything is a total revelation. He's just like, holy shit, what is this guy even doing?
Wow. You've played him for me.
Yeah.
We've watched. Okay, yes, I remember that.
And anyways, he's from Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Love Austin.
Texas, man. Something about Texas.
Austin's a party town, though.
Known for his fusion of blues, rock, and soul music with elements of hip-hop, Clark signed with Warner Brothers and released Bright Lights. The EP was followed by the albums Black and Blue and The Story of Sonny Boy Slim. Throughout his career, Clark has been a prolific live performer, which has been documented in 2 releases, Gary Clark Jr. Live in 2014 and Gary Clark Jr. Live North America in 2017. He shared the stage with Eric Clapton, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, B.B. King and the Rolling Stones. In 2014, Clark was awarded a Grammy for Best Traditional R&B Performance for a song, Please Come Home. R&B, not blues.
R&B.
R&B.
Nice.
Okay. His latest album, This Land, was released in 2019 and 2020. He won the Grammy Award for Best Rock Song and Best Rock Performance for his song, This Land.
Very cool.
Okay. So, interesting guy. Again, like, I think it was just his EP had come out, and Alicia Keys fucking said that she loved him and wanted to take him out on tour.
That doesn't hurt.
So like he worked with Alicia Keys, so like just really well respected. The Foo Fighters invited him to play with them. So you've got Alicia Keys and the Foo Fighters. This guy's like all over the place, but yet he's really considered a blues artist. He would probably, if he was sitting here, he'd probably Will Smith my ass. But yeah. Anyway, so just a very, very cool guitar.
Yeah.
Like, really brought one of the things he did is I played you guys on a few podcasts ago the difference between distortion and fuzz.
Yes.
And he really brought fuzz back. Like fuzz was kind of like for like the weirdo crowd. You know what I mean? Like
psychedelic hippies.
Like fuzz was cool like in the 60s, but then, we all put that fuzz away and, played real music. So like, and then well, of course Jack White was using fuzz and everything like that. But Gary Clark Jr. the way he did it, it's just sick as fuck. That's all I can say. You need to check him out. If you don't know who he is, you need to stop whatever you're doing right now.
Well, no.
Stop.
No.
Well, first finish this podcast.
Yeah.
Then go and listen to Gary Clark Jr.
Close.
So what do you got, Lily Vaughn 6?
Wow. The next one is Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Oh, there you go.
American blues and blues rock group based in Jacksonville, Florida. Formed in 2010. Band is led by married couple Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks. Their debut album, Revelator, won the 2012 Grammy Award for Best Blues Album. They've released 6 studio albums and 3 live albums. After touring together in 2007 as Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi's Soul Stew Revival, too many words, the couple merged their respective groups to form the Tedeschi Trucks Band.
They fell in love.
Aww. Their first concert was on April 1st, 2010 at the Savannah Music Festival. On April 20th, 2022, the band announced I Am the Moon, 4 new studio albums featuring 24 original songs. Each of the 4 I Am the Moon albums are Crescent Ascension, The Fall, and Farewell. And they're going to be released in successive months, beginning with Crescent, which was released on June 3rd, Ascension released on July 1st, The Fall released on July 29th, and the last one will be September 9th. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so they have a whole thing going on there.
Wow. That's different. Congratulations for them doing kind of stretch out, doing something different like that. I have kind of a bone to pick with Susan Tedeschi.
Okay.
Oh.
She put out this record, her own record.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. It was in the 90s, I think. And she had this song called Rock Me Right. And again, you should go listen to it right after this podcast. It is so on the edge. It is one of the most passionate, raw, in your face performances. And it's really raw and dry. It's like her, a guitar player, and a bass player. Nothing's overdubbed.
Oh.
And
Wow.
her voice, and I don't know who produced this record, man, but they did it right. They just kept it real simple. Her voice and her guitar playing on that just gave me chills. I heard it in the car. I've wanted to pull over for a minute and just kind of breathe, because it just floored me. And she toured with that record, and she was on WDVE and performed that song completely solo without a band.
Wow.
On the air, on Michelle's show.
Okay.
And she sounded freaking great. It's almost like you didn't even miss the bass and the drums. It was so good, And after, she was very self-deprecating. She said, "Oh yeah, I messed up that one part."
It's like, stop
I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
okay, you're fine.
Own
you're
it.
Fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. But in my opinion, she tried, after I tried to become Bonnie Raitt, it became real kind of smoothed out, it's almost what I call dad blues. Dad blues, here's a perfect artist who's dad blues, is Robert Cray. He's dad blues. He's the kind of music that people in their 60s and 70s
Right.
like.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And she went, from my opinion, from being a really edgy artist to being becoming super no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm Bonnie Raitt now.
Yeah.
I'm Bonnie Raitt. I toned her voice down. It wasn't as rough, and the production was way more smoothed out. Way more of a pop kind of vibe going on. If they played, the song structures were still blues song structures and stuff like that, but just really, produced really homogenized. And so I just kind of never forgave her for that.
Oh. Well, I'm sure she doesn't give a shit.
I know there was.
She might.
That's what you call a left-handed compliment. In other words, go listen to her first album. You'll fucking love it. It's fucking great.
Oh man.
She's crying her
Who's
eyes on the
next?
paychecks.
Way to go. I guess I'll be next.
That's a great album, by the way.
I'll be
Who's
next.
Who's next?
I'll be next. That was the that was gonna be the follow-up.
next to give you all the love you need.
That's lovely.
I don't know what I'm singing.
I don't know what you're thinking
What you're
either.
thinking.
I don't know what you're thinking, Cindy. Anyway, So my next jeez. Hold on, wait a
Are
minute.
you done?
Did you
Hold
take
on.
stupid pills?
Are you guys?
Hold on,
You guys
hold
aren't
on.
drinking enough. That's the problem. You might be.
Put your stupid pills away.
I don't take pills, I drink them. Anyway, so my next pick is Jeff Healey. You know him, you love him. You
I
can't
do.
live without him, yeah. Norman Jeffrey Healey. I'm glad he went with Jeff.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, born.
Norman. Hey,
Oh,
Norman.
jeez, look at this. Born March 25th, 1966, unfortunately left the planet March 2nd, 2008. Yeah, Jeff was a Canadian blues, rock, and jazz singer, guitarist, and songwriter who attained popularity in the 1980s and 1990s. He reached number 5 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart with Angel Eyes.
Yeah, I fell for that one from a guy.
Did you?
Sure did.
And reached the top 10, and you know he was Canadian there.
Yes.
He always-
Written by John Hyatt.
Yeah, he's on my list too. And he reached top 10 in Canada with songs I think I love you too much. And how long can a man be strong? Guy started playing guitar when he was 3.
Oh,
not
wow.
4,
Wow.
not 2. He was 3 years old.
That's pretty cool.
He developed his unique style of playing the instrument flat on his lap. I wanted to. Obviously, we knew that he was sightless. He had lost his vision.
He had the sightless eyes telling me no lies.
Wow. You are just on a freaking roll today with that shit.
He had the sightless eyes.
Right. I'm just trying to. Oh, that's what it was. Oh no, that's not it either. Are you all right?
No.
Honky the 3 honks. Not just 1, 3 honks. I know where the first 2 went. Where'd the other honk?
Enough.
All right, then. But unfortunately, like I said, March 2nd, 2008, Healey died of sarcoma in his home of Toronto at the age of 41. Gone too
That is
soon.
so
really
sad.
young.
I
He
know.
died really young.
That is
What
so
a
sad.
great
He did put out
guitarist,
albums
man.
where he played trumpet. He's a jazz trumpet player.
Really?
He actually
No, I
put out
didn't.
That's
albums.
right. I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
He
cool
was
stuff.
insanely talented guy. You know, my favorite thing Jeff Healey ever did was be in the movie Roadhouse.
Yes, remember that?
He's the band. That's the band that's in there. Wow. And
didn't
their
even
their
know.
version of the Steelers Wheel song,
Stuck up the middle of you.
Wow.
"Stuck in a Butthole with You."
What rolls downstairs, motor and tears, over your mirror strong. What's free for a snack and fits on your back? It's log.
Are we sponsored by Log?
Yeah, we are.
Now sponsored by Log. Go to wolfscustoms.online, guys. Check them out. RockRageRadio.com. Download the free app. Our website is LoudiniRockAndRollCircus.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to there's 2 guys I got to mention. Do
Oh,
you have
yeah.
any more, Lily?
I'm good. Go
Are
ahead.
you getting?
Yeah, talk about
Are
this.
you getting annoyed with us?
I'm not. I'm actually excited to talk about my new and notable more than anything
Oh,
today.
see? Look at you.
So I want to mention Jared James Nichols.
Uh-huh.
Born in March 14th, 1989, American blues rock guitar singer from East Troy, Wisconsin, best known for his high-energy pickless electric guitar playing technique. He is rarely seen playing without his signature single pickup Epiphone Les Paul, custom P90 nicknamed Old Glory, or his vintage original 53 Gibson Les Paul nicknamed Old Red. He fronts a power trio under his name, rooted in the early 70s hard rock vein of Cream and Mountain, and resides in Nashville.
Nashville?
Nashville. Resides in Nashville. Yeah. So you should definitely check him out. And the other
Jared
guy you should
James
check out,
Nichols.
I just won't read anything about, but you should check out Joe Bonamassa.
I can't believe we didn't bring him up, but he's almost like low hanging
It's
fruit.
like a given, though.
Like
Yeah,
him, and
yeah.
and we didn't mention John Mayer either.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Joe Bonamassa is,
He is God.
Well,
Just say it, Lou.
no.
He is God.
No, he's not God.
Praise him.
That's Ingve.
Oh, sorry.
Get out.
Joe Bonamassa is what a child prodigy, student of Danny Gatton, and was in the band Bloodline when he was, I think, 13 years old. And you can find it on YouTube. It's really interesting.
Yes.
He's just amazing guitar player. Was playing with B.B. King like when he was 12. Or,
Yeah.
and I mean, he was a monster player then. There's videotape, and just the Bloodline thing kind of fizzled out. Then he started coming out as his own under his own name, Joe Bonamassa, and I think I have his first 5 albums. I just bought them. If it said Joe Bonamassa,
You just bought it.
I bought it.
Yep. I'll take it.
Mine.
And he's a really interesting artist. He really evolves. His records are wildly different. So he built up this thing and really worked on his singing as well.
Yeah.
He has a voice very similar to Paul Rodgers. I mean, in some ways, I like his voice almost as much as I like his guitar playing. But his guitar playing, he's a considered blues, but like does a lot of the sort of Eric Johnson kind of thing as well. He kind of has that kind of whole thing going on. He's kind of shreddy in places. And but he does like a medley where he plays Heart of the Sunrise by Yes and some Zeppelin songs and all this stuff. He even has a theremin up there, like
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, I mean, he's really, in some ways, you kind of feel like he really just should just be rock, But anyway, so he's done a bunch of different stuff. He's done some very traditional sounding blues albums as well, and my favorite thing he ever did was he had a band called Black Country Communion. You guys should check them out if you've never checked them out. They're very, very good. So it's kind of a super group with him and Glenn Hughes, Derek Shrinian from.
Yes.
Come on, help me out. Dream Theater.
Oh, okay.
And I believe Jason Bonham.
Nice.
Okay.
So,
Good stuff there.
yeah, good
So,
stuff.
so real quick about Joe, it's kind of neat being our age because I don't know where I was going with that, but
Keep telling
Jane
yourself
Pauley back in the 80s or whatever, Jane Pauley did a story on this little kid, 12 years old, named Joey Bonamassa.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's
nice.
fantastic because there's this little nerdy fat kid walking down the hall, dropping his books at school.
Probably watching Star Trek.
Yeah, probably watching Star Trek, and then they go home with them, and he just sits there and just starts shredding. But it's so cool to be. I mean, imagine like seeing Jimi Hendrix as a kid.
Yeah.
That would
You know
be
what I
cool.
mean? Or Jimmy. Well, we did see Jimmy
Anyway.
Page as a kid, but I just thought that was such a cool video.
I might
Yeah.
have to actually watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's really neat.
Yeah, Jane Pauley.
Jane Pauley.
Jane Pauley.
Jane Paul. But check all those guys out, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about some shit that's new and notable.
Shit,
So what do you got, Lily? You're so excited.
I am very excited
Come
about
on,
this
talk
band.
to
So
us.
this is going back to like the 80s kind of sleaze glam rock sort of stuff. That's
Oh.
new though. The Midnight Devils. National touring high energy glam slam boogie woogie rock and roll band. That's how they describe themselves, out of Omaha, Nebraska and Chicago, Illinois. Featuring Sam Spade on the bass and vocals, Sniper on guitar, and Jimmy Mess on the drums.
Sniper on guitar. You had me at Sniper on guitar.
It's unique, it's unpredictable, it's guitar driven glam rock. They combine punk rock attitude with sleazy party rock and roll, and covering the whole thing in a thick layer of glitter and lipstick.
Oh boy.
The Midnight Devils are here for a good time. It takes you back to the rock of the 80s. On July 13, 2018, their debut album, Something Bigger, was released, featuring the singles Pink Halo and Generation Dirt. In 2019, these boys took the show on the road to performing in over 30 states, coast to coast. It's very dirty, and they're very fun. They're not like at your average kind of like kids probably shouldn't go to the show. I'm just saying.
Are you saying it's rated R?
Yes.
Oh my.
Their latest album was released on July 1st, 2022, called Never Beg For It.
Ah,
Never bake.
It's a full-on
I
party
think I
album.
like these guys already.
It's
Yeah.
a full-on party album. It's sleazy, it's gritty, it's fun. It was produced by Chips Enough from Enough's Enough.
Okay. All right.
The latest single.
Honk.
Stop that. The latest single is called Highway 69. And the interview with Sam Spade will be on Hot Licks with Lily 6 this Thursday.
Wow.
So,
That is great.
Oh, you
I'm
would
gonna
like
have to
them.
check these guys out.
oh, it's dirty.
Oh wow. I'll go to confession
Sam
afterwards.
Spade doesn't happen to be a black guy, does he?
He's not. Jerk. Why do say stuff like that.
I'm just
What?
kidding.
Where?
Just kidding. I'm just fucking.
Wow, sir.
But it's
Couldn't resist.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
That's cool. Gotta check them
Okay,
out.
cool. Check them out, guys. I put up the Jared James Nichols. We were just talking about. He's got a song that just came out this year called "Hardwired." Kicks ass.
Said hard.
Just really great. Just fucking great.
Just great.
Just great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, there, Tony.
So that's it, Kevin. You have anything you want to add?
Wow. Never do.
Wow.
One of these days I'm gonna come in here with a new notable that you're not gonna razz me about for the band being 8 years old.
I still probably will.
Yeah, you will.
It's all out of love.
Is it?
No.
It's really?
No. I'm just trying to be nice. I
know.
tried. It didn't
Thanks,
work
buddy.
out.
Thanks, pal.
Lyrics with Loudini will return next week.
Yeah.
For now, we will return you to your regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Okay.
Okay.
I hate my life right now.
No, don't.
Oh, man. It's just been a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Lord God. Okay.
Maybe I did look at the wrong one.
So,
I don't
Yes.
see anything, actually.
Wow.
we're going to go back. They
There's a
switched
lot of
up.
shit.
Switched
Ah,
up.
no, there it was.
Yeah,
There
yeah, yeah.
was.
So,
Yeah, I don't like that they flipped that.
I mean, they give us your old switcheroonie here.
Send them an email.
I will.
Fax them and
No,
tell
I'm
we
going to
don't
write them
know.
a strongly worded letter with a clicky pen.
There you go.
Clicky pen. The Clicky Pens. There's a band name.
What the dough?
Like a quirky new wave.
Yeah.
band.
There it
Clicky
is.
Pens.
The clicky pens.
The Clicky Pens.
I've given you so many band names.
Okay, the first 1963, the first Beatles monthly was published, a magazine devoted to the group. Wow, how about that? We have our own magazine. You know, forget Cosmopolitan.
No.
You forget Melody Maker.
No.
Forget her Hit Parader.
No.
Get the Beatles.
Yes.
It continued for 77 editions until 69, and at its peak was selling over 350,000 copies a month. They were
Holy
getting rich off of
cow.
just that.
Paper.
Jesus. I mean, there was no
Brilliant.
physical media now.
Right.
So
Right.
bands are doing this. They're publishing a blog.
Yeah. Print is dead.
Oh, yeah, there's another one.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Lily?
1964, the Beatles scored their fifth U.S. #1 single in 7 months when A Hard Day's Night went to the top of the charts. The group had now spent 17 weeks at the #1 position in this year.
Wow.
Magic.
You said hard, and then you said position.
I mean, I say
What are
all
you
those
trying to
things.
do? What are you trying to do? I'm just a guy, Lily. I'm just a guy.
Come on
okay?
now.
You're talking about hard positions. Like, what do you think I'm going to do here?
I don't know.
Sit there
what?
and take it.
I'm going to, like, pop one.
I don't know.
Exactly. Bones knows what's going
Oh,
on.
he know the deal.
Lay back and let it happen.
Relax.
Don't
Just
do it.
I knew
There
you
you
would do
go. What the fuck is
You
this?
want to do this?
1964, the harmonica. The harmonica was invented in 1964.
No, it was not.
Oh, that's not what that says? Billboard magazine reported that the harmonica was making a comeback. It was already invented, Lou. Don't
We're talking
worry.
about cum. Now you're talking about cum. Jesus Christ. This podcast is out of control.
It gets worse. Come on the back.
But wait, there's more.
In a big way, thanks to its
Big
use by...
Jesus Christ. Just kidding.
And this is why you stay to the end of the podcast. Thanks to its use by Stevie Wonder, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and Bob Dylan. So the harmonica making a big comeback in 1964.
Wow. And this day, 1965.
Yeah.
During a UK tour, the Rolling Stones appeared at the London Palladium, supported by the Walker Brothers
Yes, sir.
and the Foremost, Steam Packet featuring Rod Stewart, Sugar Pie DeSanto, and the
Chevelles.
Chevelle.
Wow. They all went
Sugar
on.
Pie DeSanto.
Oh, that's so weird.
That's like a rapper's name, right?
It should be.
That should be like a with
If it isn't,
DeSanto. What
it's-
is it? What kind of name is that? Is that like
Santo.
his like Hispanic?
It sounds
could be.
Hispanic. But I
So
don't
then
know.
he'd be like a Hispanic rapper, Sugar Pie DeSanto. Mm-hmm. If your name is Sugar Pie DeSanto and you want to get into rap, like I'll like make your career for you. I can teach rap. So
Yeah, wrap your lips around this.
Oh God.
okay, who's next?
That's you.
Oh, okay. Oh, 1969. 69, dudes! The
welcome,
3-day U.S. Atlantic City Pop Festival took place at the Atlantic City Racetrack with B.B. King, Janis Joplin, Santana,
Yeah.
Three Dog Night,
Not Two Dog Night.
Dr. John, Procol, Hair Rum,
Hooked on Pahonix worked for me.
Oh hell.
Arthur Brown. Oh man, Arthur Brown's crazy. You guys ever listen to any Arthur Brown? Every once in a
think so.
while, DVE will play it on the Electric Lunch. Man, I was one of those things that would come on, man, when I was a kid on the radio, and I just couldn't handle it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what in the fuck is this music? It's crazy. If you go look him up, it's
Okay,
just nuts.
Arthur Brown.
Iron Butterfly. That's kind of a cool name for a
Sure.
band.
Yes.
Inangata Davida.
Yeah.
Yes.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Little Richard Timba. Holy cow! Like everybody.
Wow.
Everybody
Everybody's there.
who was popular.
I
that
mean,
year.
like
go. Yeah,
everybody
why-
was there. Joni Mitchell started to cry and ran off stage in the middle of her third song because the crowd was not paying attention to her performance.
What, was she born in 1996? You got it.
I wish I had a wah wah.
See, Joni Mitchell's. When Joni Mitchell goes on, that's the time you go get your beer.
Right.
I like Joni Mitchell. I don't know why she's being a little bitch. Joni Bitchell.
Wow.
That's being a little bitch. If I did that, you'd be like, Lou, you're being a little bitch.
I would
It's
definitely
okay.
say that.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. I would do
I don't
that.
think
So
she's
Joni
lis-
was being a little bitch that day.
She's not listening tonight, so we can talk freely.
You don't even know.
Oh, I know.
I want to say something so sexist right now.
Oh boy.
What's wrong with being sexy?
I would never say this, but
But he's going to anyway.
No,
For the
I would
podcast.
never say this. I would never actually say this. But I thought maybe she was her, you know.
Oh, don't. See? No, don't say it. Hey, on this
It was a
day...
time for making red tea.
If you assume
Auntie Irma
because I'm
was
in a bad
visiting.
mood that I'm on my period.
I know, that's why it was a joke.
Auntie-
But listen,
Irma.
then I'm going to assume when you're sleeping, you're dead, and I'm going to bury you in the backyard.
Again?
I was just.
I know, but that's a
was
meme I
trying
saw
to
the other
be
day.
like an intentional sexist to make a
Right.
joke. That's that was the joke would have been ironic. It wasn't meant to be literal. But today, if you, I'm not saying to you, but I'm like I think it's what people do though. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
no
Like
doubt.
they don't get that the joke is ironic. To them, it's oh my god, did you hear what he said? Oh,
Communists have taken over.
Anyway, so what do you got,
All
Kevin
youth men.
O'Connor?
Here we
No,
go. Was it
this
your
was
turn?
me.
Oh,
It was? I thought you... No, Lou did Joni.
oh,
Okay.
Jamie Foxx, go ahead.
Jamie Foxx.
1970, The Rolling Stones, the film performance featuring Mick Jagger in his acting debut, had its UK premiere in London. The British crime drama film directed by Donald Cammell and Nicholas Roeg. Oh my God! Also featured James Fox. That was not me.
Wasn't
This
me
time.
either. It was Lou. Lou used his finger.
That never gets not funny.
Yeah.
I still
don't care
laugh
how
when the
old you
ketchup
are.
bottle farts.
Be 80 years old in a nursing home. Hey, pull my finger.
Oh god.
Now that's you.
Now
we
it's
go.
mine. On this day, 1979, Sonny and
71.
Cher.
It seems like we're going.
So
It seems
what did I
like
say?
are we going every year?
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, this is
Wow.
a very long one today. We might have to start skipping some. The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour started on primetime American TV. By this time, Sonny and Cher had stopped producing hit singles, so the duo decided to sing and tell jokes in nightclubs across the country. Wow. Anyway, CBS head of programming, Fred Silverman, saw them one evening and offered them their own show. Do you remember watching that, Lou?
Oh yeah, that was the 70s were the era of
Cher was so
the variety
sexy.
show. Like everybody had a variety. It was mean like Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, Sonny and Cher, the Osmonds. I mean
The Brady
like,
Bunch.
The Brady Bunch did have a variety
Well,
show.
that was
yes.
later,
That was
but-
later, but they
Oh, I
did.
thought it was late 70s ish.
That was a little bit later. That wasn't the variety show. I think might have been winding down, but even even the old timers were still doing
Yeah,
variety
variety
shows.
shows.
The Bob Pope would come out and do stuff.
Yeah,
like crazy. 71 concert for Bangladesh.
Oh.
George Harrison.
That's what it says. Look, Harrison right there.
Harrison.
It's my favorite Beatle.
Everybody has their favorite Beatle, right? George Harrison is not your favorite Beatle.
Yes, he
He
is.
can't be. He's mine. We
I
can't both have the same favorite
cage
Beatle.
match in the backyard.
Paul's dreamy, so
No, Paul's my least favorite.
Dreamy.
Yep, don't like him at all.
died back in 1964.
Oh well.
Anyway, who cares?
Yes, and they did this giant triple release album and all that good
And
stuff.
Magic.
Here we go, Lily.
1980. Def Leppard made their U.S. live debut when they appeared on the New York City concert opening for AC/DC. It was also Def Leppard singer Joe Elliott's 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a baby.
I remember reading that about them or hearing them talk about that in an interview. And it was
He's just a baby.
He had a very good time.
I'll bet.
I bet he did.
Well, could you imagine you turn 21 when you're on tour with ACTC?
I mean, that's
I'm
kind
like,
of thing.
dude, that's about the best 21st fucking birthday you're ever gonna.
He probably wanted to die the next day.
Well, it's rock and roll. Shake it off. Rub dirt in it and take a lap.
Take a lap. That one's stupid.
Oh, Harry, do this one. You like
Samantha
this guy.
likes Rick Springfield.
Who's doing it? Me?
You.
This day, 1981, Australian. Did you know he's Australian? Australian
his
singer.
accent is almost completely gone.
Gone. Yeah. Australian singer Rick Springfield started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with "Yes, He's a Girl," which later won the singer a Grammy Award for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance. The song was at number 1 when MTV launched on August 1st, 1981. Happy birthday, MTV. Rick had played Noel Drake in the TV show Genital Hospital.
Wow.
It's a lot. Well, that's pretty much the way it is
was a
these
joke,
days.
wasn't it? It was a joke.
All hospitals are genital
I was
hospitals.
being sexy.
Get your genitals. Get your genitals here.
Oh,
You can have long ones. You can have innies. You can have outies. You can have great big giant chubby ones.
oh my, sir.
Genitals. Oh my God! I don't want to hear about Dave Stewart's marriage. 1987 on this day, Europe was launched. First video being played on MTV. Europe was launched. Excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me slow down.
Slow down.
MTV Europe was launched. The first video being played was "Money for Nothing" by Dire Straits, which contained the appropriate line, "I want my MTV."
Right on.
So, like in America, we saw Video Killed the Radio Star. A few years later, that's just what they saw. I guess it's kind of
That'll
fitting.
work.
And it was a
Sure.
big video.
Yeah.
Gigantic. You want to talk about that or not?
Please don't make me read that one.
Los Lobos went to number 1
Oh, there
with
you
the
go.
Richie Valens
Sure.
song La Bamba on Say. You want to talk about this guy?
Yes, 1987, Bob Seger scored his first U.S. #1 single with the... Wow, I can't even read
Harold
Faltermeyer.
Faltermeyer.
Thank you.
That's the
Pen
song
Shakedown,
Faltermeyer.
which was taken from the film Beverly Hills Cop 2. The song was nominated for both the Academy Award for Best Original Song and Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song, but it lost both awards to Dirty Dancing's "I've Had the Time of My Life."
Jagoffs. Bob Seger's
This
there.
in 1980, all the albums Bob Seger's been putting out since the 60s. His first #1 single is in 1987. So that says right there, kids, stick with it.
Don't give up.
Don't let the bastards
Grayson.
drag you down.
Grayson, you'll be.
Oh,
squished,
don't let him
Bob
jag you.
Seger.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
No.
No. All right.
Oh, here we go. 2000? What happened?
What happened?
Did he
AC/DC
just show up? They showed up somewhere?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
kicked off the AC/DC kicked off the stiff upper lip
Come
tour.
on, really, guys? Come on. That's why there's 100 things today. It's all stupid shit.
No, it wasn't all stupid. Some of it was really good.
Yeah, some of
The
them.
Some
newer
was good.
stuff.
The,
Well,
the
this
ones
stuff-
that are passing over right
Yeah, the
now.
ones that passing over.
Right.
So the granny glasses were sold for £1 million. John Lennon. On this day, remember, Prince was still alive in 2007. Prince kicked off a series of 21 sold-out UK shows.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
man, like it was a different fucking era, man.
Yeah.
You know, he was such a badass. The Police played the first of 2 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden, stayed in 07.
Sure.
Okay, so
That's enough of that.
now,
All right, that's enough. Let's
who
get
was
some
born-
birthdays.
Who was born?
Who was born
MTV?
today? MTV was.
I want my MTV.
Patty Maloney.
Patty Maloney.
That's a good Irish name.
She's good.
He was born this day, 1938.
Cherry Garcia.
Delicious.
Love Cherry Garcia. Happy birthday, Cherry Garcia, if you know who that is.
Whoever that is.
I said if you don't know who that
Oh,
is.
I thought you said whoever that is. I'm like, no, that's not funny.
Boz Burrell
Man. Oh.
from Bad Company. Can't Get Enough of Your Love and all those songs.
Yes, of
Also, remember
course.
King Crimson died of a heart attack on September 21st, 2006 at age 60.
That's a shame.
Oh my God, Ricky I'm not even gonna. I'm
Kunci?
not.
Yeah.
Kunci? Is that
That's how I'm
say
going to
it?
say it, because that's what
Okay.
it looks like to me.
From the Grassroots.
Kunci.
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Rick Anderson from the Tubes,
Happy
born this day in
birthday,
1947.
She is a beauty.
John Prakash, Canadian
John.
rock bassist, worked with Edgar Winter and Rick Derringer.
Yes.
Tommy
Oh,
Bolin.
Tommy. All right.
Tommy Bolin.
Nelson
Done all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Check him out. Tommy Bolin. Happy birthday this day in
He did.
1951.
He did, though.
Robert Cray.
There you go. We
Blues
talked about
guitarist.
him.
Definitely. Now, he's a blues guitarist, in my opinion, who is a blues guitarist. I just
Yes,
know
sir.
he has no rock in him. Robert Craig's day, 53. Robert Buck, alternate from the Return of Rock band 10,000 Maniacs.
Nice.
Found in 81, was born this day, 1958.
Hey, happy birthday.
Joe Elliott. It's Joe Elliott.
Little Joey Elliott.
Def Leppard.
Born this day in 1959, dudes.
I'll be seeing him next weekend.
I bet you will.
Susie Gardner from L7. Mm-hmm. Chuck D from
Yo, yo,
Public
yo.
Enemy. Coolio and Chuck
Oh,
D were
that's
at the same
Coolio.
birthday.
Wow.
Nice.
3 years apart. I don't know what that is.
Nope.
Adam Duritz
Oh, yeah.
from the
Nice.
Counting Crows.
There you go.
This day in 1964.
Dan Dunnigan.
He's older than me. Dan Dunnigan from Disturbed. Okay. And
Whoever Ashley Parker
Yeah,
is.
Ashley Parker from
Ashley
O-Town.
Parker. Come on. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, but it's pretty good.
O-Town.
Okay, jump over. Who's talking? Look who's talking now.
What?
Look who's talking now. Did you ever see the
Oh,
movie?
is it time to read?
There's really not a lot of discussion on the topic itself.
No, we're just hanging
Hi,
out.
Bill Domiano.
Hi, dear. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
That's me. I was saying hi.
Savannah Collier. Is she on the list? We'll do a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4.
Yeah, because there's lots.
Saw Pat Travers in Canada in 2017. What about Elvis?
What about him?
Elvis is the king of rock and roll. Nobody's calling him blues. Blues and oldies. Okay.
That's Charlie Doyle.
David Gilmour was once in an interview
It's
described
Goltz.
as an old bluesman.
You had to
I
know
know
that.
exactly who that is. Michael Goltz.
Okay.
There is an album. It's excuse me. It's a tribute to Muddy Waters,
Yeah.
and it's Paul Rogers doing all the vocals. It's like a solo album.
Okay.
And he has it's a who's who of guitar players. Like it's the who's who of everybody. Richie Sambora, David Gilmour, Neil Schon, Jeff Beck. Like it's like
So it's the list.
yeah, it's like the list. It's very cool to hear these guys, and it's like really cool because like when you learn David Gilmour's guitar solos, you realize he's guy totally immersed in the blues. But Pink Floyd is not a blues band like at all.
No.
Okay,
No.
so it's really neat to hear. So when you hear him playing blues, you go like, "Oh shit, man, he's really good. He's a good blues player." But that's really cool. But Gilmour's on that. It's a tribute to Muddy Waters. Paul Rogers, a tribute to Muddy Waters. Oh my goodness, very informative. Okay, all right. Well, hang in with the master of disaster. How's it going, Kev? How's it going, Kev?
That's great. Thanks. I'm hanging.
Hi, everybody. I'll just
hanging.
apologize in advance.
That's
Yeah,
him.
that's me. See, now you know. Now you folks know why I did that. Off the rails.
They just talk amongst themselves.
I know. Say something interesting that we can
It's like
read.
a community. It's the Loudini community.
You can say whatever you want. Where we won't hesitate to humiliate you.
No doubt.
Why is it No Doubt on the list?
They're not really a blues or
I'm
rock
just
band.
joking around.
Like,
I'm just being a jokester.
you're being silly
You're being
now.
funny.
Being a jokester. All right. So next week
Yeah?
is our album.
Yeah, it is.
And this is what we're going to be talking about, Chinese democracy.
Oh, I
thank
can't
you.
wait to be mad
You
about
know,
this.
so like,
Thank you.
really, and this isn't the only time.
Something Wong. Sorry.
Shame on you.
Ow. Sorry, Will.
That was terribly inappropriate.
Of course it
Don't
was.
you know this is a podcast
Yeah?
that's on
Of
the
tolerance?
internet? You know, you can't just say anything you want on the internet, Kevin.
No?
Yeah, Lou.
I'm just saying.
I know.
At least I preface it by, I was thinking about saying this thing.
Yeah,
You know?
it takes all the heat off of it. I would
It's like
never
saying
say
no
this.
offense,
But,
but
there isn't,
Look,
but
no
this isn't the
offense.
first time that a band took like umpteen years. Boston's third stage.
Yeah.
Like, and that was,
Right.
and I remember being terribly disappointed. I'm sorry, to those of you guys that like that album. I was terribly disappointed. If I never hear Amanda ever again, I won't be too soon. And like, even the kind of rock tunes are really machismo, dude. Cool the engines. It's really like, I mean,
like
you
Cool
know,
the
it's
Engines.
kind of like okay, you know, rock out, yeah, go.
yeah, I was very excited about this. I was living in Miami at the time that this was being released, and they would play like the one song on the radio all the time, and I was like super excited, and then like blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, this was it was an very interesting thing that happened in music, and it happened in this century.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Right?
you know,
We
so
did
we
that.
didn't have to harken back too far to do this. And I think we've done some other Guns N' Roses stuff in the past. In any case,
We did Appetite.
yeah, Appetite, the album with the most cowbell
Yes.
of any album out there.
I've
So
been
it
listening
makes
to
it
that
so
a lot
good.
lately, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy what we do around here, isn't it? See? So go check some of these guys out if you have not heard them. I think we'll dig them. Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.com is the website. You can also go to LouLombardiMusic.com and get free download of some of my music.
Yeah.
And you get all the same stuff that you can get at Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.com. You get access to the Inner Circle group and stuff like it. You get all that there, too. And check out wolfscustoms.online or just find them on social media. Get custom artwork done on your musical instrument. And rockrageradio.com. Download the app. It is totally what, Lily?
Free.
Free! I feel free.
I'll bet you do.
He hates these cans. I've watched The Jerk.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It's fun. No, I'm not done with it. I'm like in like.
I'm not. I
like
won't.
the-
I won't
the
ruin
third
it
act.
for you. I won't ruin it for you then.
Did you ever see? Speaking of that,
Yes.
did you guys? Either one of you guys ever see the movie? I'm gonna put this on my list. I gotta rewatch it. John dies in the end.
No.
No.
fucking
I've
great.
heard of it,
That's
but I've never
fucking
seen it.
great. It's
he
called John
fucking
dies
great?
in the end.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome. Anyway, so
What happens in the end?
well, you're gonna find out.
Ugh.
Gotta watch it.
In the end, see, get it? No, it's not a story about anal sex.
Oh.
Oh wow!
Not a
I
story
was
about
hoping.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
gay.
Oh,
The new gay, not the happy gay.
Not the old
Not the
gay.
happy gay.
Okay.
The other gay.
Yes.
Wow.
And you yell at me for something wrong.
Could you,
All right.
could you, you know, like you can imagine some hillbillies, you know, well, what kind of gay are you? Are you the happy gay or the other kind?
Wow. There it
Oh,
is.
my goodness gracious. So, Lily V6, what do you got going on?
My show is on Thursdays, Hot Licks with Lily 6.
Mine show!
My show.
Not mine show.
Mine.
Mine show.
Anyway, if you want to check out the interview with the Midnight Devils, who I talked about tonight, it will be on Thursday. Also, I will be at Rob Zombie tomorrow at Star Lake. So anyone going out there, you can buy me a drink. That would be awesome since they're like $20 each now.
What?
So there's that. And that's it.
Wow.
Okay, guys. And also, I'm gonna end with one tip. I just got this great bit.
Just the tip.
I'll bet.
This tip for you guys. Those of you that are concerned
Yeah.
about the, they want to go see Bruce Springsteen, but can't afford the ticket.
Sure.
I'll solve your problem right now.
Okay.
Stay home. Guys, have a great week. We'll catch you all on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.